Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you my work makeup routine. I know that some of you had been asking me what makeup I use when I go to work and you wanted to see a work makeup routine. So I decided I would just take the time and film it for you while I was getting ready for work. So if you want to see what makeup I use and how I get ready for work, then just keep on watching. So at this point I had already finished my skincare routine. So first I started by priming my eyes with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. And while I was doing my eye makeup, I didn't realize that my camera stopped recording. So I just went ahead and inserted some clips so that I can show you what items I used on my eyes. So using this fluffy brush, I went into my MAC Quad and dipped it into the shade Brulee just to kind of set my primer and make sure that all the other shades blend easier. And then using a Wet n Wild crease brush, I went into the shade Soft Brown and used that as a transition shade and just pretty much put it all over my lid, and then slowly taking it up to my crease just so that I can go into a darker color using this Morphe brush. And I used the color Espresso also on that quad, which is the darker brown shade that you saw on that quad. I keep saying quad, but I am working on getting another shade color, so technically it's a trio for now, but you know what I mean. I got out of frame when I was doing my eyeliner, but here I use this NYC liquid eyeliner, and this is actually the best eyeliner I've ever used from the drugstore. Then I moved on to filling in my eyebrows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Medium Brown, and I'm just going to fast forward this because doing my eyebrows takes forever. I'm not a pro at this. So after I finished filling in my eyebrows, I moved on to the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, and I use this to just pretty much set my eyebrows into place, that way they don't move. This thing is a little bit pricey for a brow gel, but it's actually worth every single penny because my eyebrows do not move. They stay in place all day, especially if I have a long flight or just a lot of flights that day. And then I went in to prime my face. And I used this Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. Amazing primer. This is the only thing that can actually cover up my pores. I have really huge pores. And I've used the Makeup Forever brand. I've used a lot of brands, but this is the only primer that can actually fill in my pores. Then I moved on to my foundation, and I used the Tarte Amazonian Clay in the shade Light Neutral. And I like this just because it has SPF 15 and it has full coverage, and I need full coverage. Then I went in and blended it out with a beauty blender. If you don't have a beauty blender, I know it's a little bit pricey, but I would highly recommend looking into it just because it has made a difference in my makeup routine. I used to use brushes and they would always leave streaks even if they were clean. So once I moved on to the beauty blender, I saw a huge difference in how my makeup applied. Then I just curled my eyelashes with this Revlon eyelash curler. Then I went in with the L'Oreal Voluminous? I can never say that right. I was using the Maybelline Falsies for years, and I recently just switched over to this mascara. I don't really have a lot of complaints about it, except that you just have to be really careful with how you apply it, because if you're not careful, it can clump up. And then I grabbed this Morphe M432 brush and I went back into that espresso shadow that I used earlier. And I'm just going to use this on my lower lash line just to kind of buff it out and add some more definition to the eyes. Moving on to concealer. So I used this MAC Pro Long Wear Concealer in the shade NW20. And I just used that to cover up any dark circles or any blemishes that I have. And then I went in with a damp, very damp beauty blender and just kind of blended that away, just kind of pressing it onto the skin. And then I just set that concealer in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder and the Real Techniques setting brush, just to make sure that the concealer didn't set into my fine lines or that it didn't crease. Then I went back in and used Brulee and grabbed a Bare Minerals Precision Eye Brush and used it to pretty much just highlight my brow bone and just the inner corners of my eye, just to kind of look a little bit more awake. So moving on to the rest of my face, I grabbed my Too Faced Matte Bronzer in Chocolate Soleil. And don't mind me while I smell this, but am I the only one that likes to smell Too Faced products? Because I am obsessed with the way they smell. So anyway, using this e.l.f. bronzing brush, I'm adding a little bit of definition to my face and my cheeks, and then also just adding it to my forehead, my neck, under my chin, just so that I have a little bit of warmth and I don't walk around looking like this pale ghost. And speaking of color, I went ahead and added some blush to my face, and I used this MAC Blush Baby with a Precision Cheek Brush, also from Bare Minerals, just to add a little bit more of health to my skin, and blended that out with a Wet n Wild stippling brush just to make sure that there's no harsh lines. And then for my favorite part, I use this MAC Soft and Gentle highlight, the Bare Minerals Light Stroke Fan Brush, and just added that to the top of my cheekbones and the bridge of my nose and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. And now moving on to lipstick, I use my Tarte Lip Surgeon Matte Lip Tint in the shade Envy, just because I didn't feel like wearing a bold lipstick today. And then to finish off the look, I use this Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, and I just pretty much sprayed it in an X and T formation. Alright guys, so that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!